Alright. Everything's looking good. I sent the links out beforehand this time, so that there's not like a weird thing. Alright. Well, this is weirdly consistent now, I think. Just so that anybody knows. Oh man, stream elements, that's not the title that I wanted. Yeah, whatever. I'll fix it later. Well, most people won't see it anyway. Anyway, the... I guess that really doesn't matter. Anyway, I guess let's just go into it. There was some other stuff that I wanted to mention, but... Wait, what's this? Oh, never mind. Alright. Alright, enough thumb twiddling. Here we go. A lecture on masters. Tosaka Ren 2. You're Tosaka. Yes, good evening, Emiya-kun. Tosaka Rin replies with a big smile. That gets me. If she greets me normally like that, everything that happened up to now seems like a dream and... No, my head's about to explode. Jeez, how easy would things be if it was? No, well, so you were using magic right now, so that means... I'm a mage. Well, we're the same, so it's nothing I need to hide. When she replies clearly like that, it makes me seem stupid for asking. Let's talk inside. You don't know anything, right, Emiya-kun? So saying, she walks towards the entrance. Wait, what are you thinking? And then, she turns, and the smile on her face isn't like the previous one. Are you stupid? I'm thinking about a lot of things. That's why I want to talk to you. Emiya-kun, it's good to be surprised by sudden turns of events, but it can sometimes cost you your life if you don't just accept it. Incidentally, do you understand that now is one of those times? She glares at me. It's fine if you understand. Let's go to your place. Tosaka goes through the gate. She's really pissed. It's only natural. She had a sword pointed at her until now, and she was almost killed. No, but still. Is it just my imagination, or is she totally unlike how she seems at school? So I'm in a strange situation. I don't want this to go too long, but this can get really interesting. In front of me is the school's #1 idol, whom I admire, Tosaka Rin. And following silently behind me is Saber, who calls herself a servant. The hallway suddenly feels like a different dimension. But I can't be a coward forever. I'm a mage, even I am just an amateur. Tosaka Rin, a mage just like me, is acting so fearlessly, so I have to act firmly too. But I can only work out a few things. First, about Saber, who's following me. I'm sure that she's some kind of familiar because she calls me master and I made a contract with her. I hear that familiar is some kind of assistant for a mage. Most magi transfer part of their body into something and summon it as another self. For the other self, a mage usually uses a small animal. That's simply because it's easy to take over the mind of something like a cat or a dog. Some mages use a human as a familiar, but they need enough magical energy to restrain a human at all times if they do such a thing. But if one constantly uses enough magical energy to control someone, it would take most of the mage's magical energy to sustain the familiar. But that'd be putting the cart before the horse. A familiar is something that assists the mage. To reduce the burden on the mage, it is commonly accepted that small animals are the most suitable. So I've been taught, but... What is it, Shiro? No, it's nothing. Saber looks human no matter how you look at her. She's clearly superior to me, her master. I don't have the magical energy to control such a person, and more than that, I don't have the magical circuit to summon a familiar. So Saber must be something rather unlike a familiar. She says he's a servant. I don't know what that is, but I think the man called Lancer and the man in red with Tosaka were the same. Then it must be that Tosaka is also a so-called master. I just saw her magic skills. If I'm worth half a mage, she is worth about 3. Of course, there's no point in comparing me to other mages when I can only use the strengthening magic. Anyway, Tosaka's great. In any spiritually superior land is a family of mages that look after that land. The Emi family only came to this land in Kiritsuga's generation, so we're just strangers. That's why I don't know what the Tosaka were magi, and I don't think Tosaka knew that the Emis were a family of magi either. There are several mages in this town that I don't know about. If Lancer's the familiar of another mage in this town, then does it mean that I stuck my head into a conflict between mages? Wow, it's pretty big. Japanese style is unusual for me. Oh, is that the living room, Emiya-kun? Saying so, Tosaka goes to the living room. Welcome in, bitch. Let's stop thinking for now. Let's just listen to Tosaka's story. I turned the lights on. It's already past 1 in the morning. Oh, it's so cold. What is this? The windows are broken? Lancer was attacking me. The windows are me. Oh, I see then. Then you were fighting him alone until you summoned Saber? What's a fight, really? It was more like he was just beating me at my ass. Oh, so you don't try to show off, huh? I see. You really just are as you appear, Emiya-kun. Tosaka walks over to the broken window. What is she doing? Tosaka takes a piece of the shattered glass, takes a look at it, and... Minten von Schweben. She cuts the tip of her finger, puts a drop of her blood onto the glass. What kind of magic is this? Shattered glass combines on its own and restores itself in a matter of seconds. Suddenly, Tosaka gains a weird, smug look. Tosaka, that was... It's just a small demonstration. It won't be enough to repay you for saving me, but I have to at least do this much. Well, I'm sure you would have fixed it even if I hadn't, but that's just a waste of magical energy, right? All you really have to do is just replace the window, but we don't talk in this cold, so do we? Oh, whatever. She says so as if it's something natural. But needless to say, her skills are beyond my understanding. No, that's amazing, Tosaka. I can't do that sort of thing, so I'm glad you fixed it. Huh? There's no way you can't fix it. Handling glass is so elementary. Restoring glass that broke a few minutes ago is like an old admission test for any school, right? Is that how it is? I was only taught by my dad, so I don't really know the basics, or elementary stuff. Huh? Tosaka freezes. Damn, seems like I said something stupid. Wait, then you're saying you're just an amateur who can't even run your own workshop? I don't have a I barely own this home. Well, I do have that shed in my training area, but I think Tosaka would get mad if I called that my workshop. I think it's impossible, but I'll ask anyway. Could it be that you don't know how to handle the 5 main elements? Or how to make a pass? Oh, I know how to make a pass. I honestly admit that I don't know. Wow, that's scary. She's so beautiful usually. She looks pretty scary now. Then what are you, just an amateur? That's not true. I can use strength. I have strengthening magic. And strengthening. That's an awfully odd magic. So you can't do anything other than that. Tosaka glares at me. Well, to be honest, probably not. Her glare makes my answer vague. Jeez, why did Saber get summoned to a guy like this? She sighs. Makes me mad. I haven't been playing around. I know I'm an amateur, but I don't think it matters right now. Well, I don't care. There's no point in complaining about what's already happened. More importantly, I have to pay back my debt right now. Tosaka takes a breath. Well, I'll begin. Emiya-kun, you don't know what kind of situation you're in right now, correct? I nod. I thought so. Well, I could tell easily, but I have to confirm, right? It's only putting flab on my mind if I tell someone that already knows about it. What the fuck was that saying? I think that's a weird phrase, but I stay quiet, and I think she'll beat me up for it if I make fun of her now. To put it bluntly, you have been chosen as a master. You have a holy sign on one of your hands, right? On your hand or on your arm, there are personal differences, but there should be 3 command spells engraved. That is the sign of a master. On my hand? Oh, this thing. Yes, that is also a spell that rules the servant, so take care of it. It's called a command spell, and you can retain control over your servant as long as you have it. What do you mean, as long as I have it? The command spell is an item of unconditional obedience. I think you've already realized that servants have their own will, but that mark overrules their will and makes them obey your command. There's no spell needed to activate, and it will be activated when you put your might into using it. But you'll lose 1 for every time you use it, so make sure you only use it twice. If you lose all your command spells, you'll be killed, so be careful. What do you mean I'll be killed? Yeah, it's fundamental in the Holy Grail War for Masters to kill other Masters, and the Master that kills the other 6 Masters is awarded with the Holy Grail. Hold on. I don't understand what Tosaga's talking about at all. Like, the part about Masters killing other Masters. And the part where the winner gets a Holy Grail. What does she mean, Holy Grail? You still don't understand? To put it simply, you've been dragged into a game. A survival game between the 7 Masters. A game called the Holy Grail War. A battle royale between the Masters that won't end until you kill all other Masters. So where were you dropping? Tosaga Rin states as the most natural thing in the world. That phrase swirls in my head. I have been chosen as a master. Tosaka says she is a master. Familiars called the servants, and a battle to the death between other mages called the Holy Grail War. Wait, what is that? What are you talking about all of a sudden? I understand how you feel, but I'm just telling you the truth. Besides, you should understand deep down. You should know you're in a situation you can't run away from, having been almost killed by that servant twice now. That's... Certainly I was almost killed by that Lancer guy, but... Oh no, that's wrong. In fact, you weren't almost killed. You were actually killed. I'm surprised you're alive again. That's a lie, because we already know she brought him back. It was in the prologue, haha. She's just being weird and cagey about it. Tosaga's comment finishes me off. That's right. That guy killed me, and I certainly died. No excuse nor negotiation was possible. I was just someone who had to be killed. So, even if I do deny this battle to the death that I cannot understand, the others in it will not withdraw. Do you get it now? Then I'll go on. I don't exactly know what the Holy Grail War is, but I know that every few decades, 7 masters are chosen and given servants. I am also a chosen master. That is why I made a contract with a servant, and you made a contract with Saber. Think of the servant as a familiar given to you by the Holy Grail to win the Holy Grail War. And as masters, we are to work together with our servant to kill other masters. Tosaka's description is too brief for me to understand. But there is one thing I do wonder about. Hold on, you say Saber is a familiar, but I don't think so. Familiars are things like cats and birds, right? Well, I do hear that some use human ghosts, but Saber has like a body. She's physical. She doesn't look like a familiar. I glance at Saber. Saber is quietly listening to our conversation. She looks just like a normal human person. I don't know her identity, but she's a girl about my age. Just having a girl like that near me is more than enough, so I don't get it when she tells me that Saber's a familiar, and besides, my heart is pounding right now. Familiar, huh? Well, servants are in that category, but they are on a different level, because that girl over there is a ghost liner, considered to be the strongest of all familiars. Ghost liner? What, like, she's a ghost? Like, ghost? A human ghost that stopped living a long time ago. The remaining minds of those with strong abilities who remain in this world even after they die. But that doesn't make any sense. A ghost doesn't have a body. A ghost can only be hurt by other ghosts. So as I have a body, a ghost shouldn't be able to kill me. A ghost, huh? She's similar, but Saber would kill you if you compared her to one. Servants are heroes of the past given bodies, beings surpassing humans, more like spirits. Heroes of the past given bodies. That's right, a legendary hero who is pulled from the past or the present or whenever and given a body. Well, it's the role of the master to summon them, and the Holy Grail does the rest. It's impossible for a mage to give shape to a soul, so we're assisted to it by a strong artifact. Hold on. So, like, hero of the past means, like, I'm gonna go over at Saber. Then, she's a heroine from the past too? Well, it's true that nobody would dress like that now, unless they're like cosplaying or something, but still. That's impossible. I've never heard of any such magic. Of course not. It isn't magic. Think of it as a phenomenon created by the Holy Grail. It's impossible to recreate a soul and give a body without it. Recreation of the soul? Then a servant isn't a ghost. No. Haven't you been taught that any humans, animals, or machines that leave great achievements behind get removed from the ring of reincarnation and sublimate into beings of higher rank? Heroic spirits are like that. To put it simply, they have been worshipped and made into artificial gods. Ghost magic, such as supplicating ghosts, uses heroic spirits to make miracles happen. But the servants are familiars of the heroes themselves. So they accompany you in spirit form, but if need be, you can give them form and make them fight. So you mean I can give them form or keep them in like spirit form? Like a sleep mode? I didn't see your servant, so he's like in spirit form right now, right? No, he's healing his wounds at the summoning circle at my house right now. Saber wounded him just now, right? If I hadn't withdrawn him by force, he would have had his head chopped off. Look, the only ones who can beat these servants are other servants, spirits like them. Well, I mean, we can hit them too if they take form, so we might be able to beat them. But servants are all strong as monsters, right? So we let monsters deal with monsters. The master usually supports them from behind. That's right, folks, remember. Servants can only be killed by other servants. Wink. Tosaka's explanation irritates me for some reason. She calls them monsters. I don't know about the other servants, but I don't want to talk about Saber like that. Anyway, someone who becomes a master must kill all the other masters using their servant. Do you understand? In, like, words, yeah, but I'm not convinced. To begin with, who started such a thing and why? It sounds dumb. That's not something I know about, nor should I answer. You should put that kind of question into the one overseeing the Holy Grail War. The one thing I can tell you is that all you can do now is fight, and servants are powerful familiars, so you should use them wisely. Tosaka says so, and now turns to Saber. So, from what I hear from Emiya-kun, you must not be in full form, Saber. You were summoned by an apprentice mage who has no idea how to be a master. Yes, I am not in full form, as you say. Since Shiro does not have the magical energy to give me form, it will be difficult for me to turn into a spirit or to replenish my magical energy. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you were in that bad a state, but didn't think you'd tell me honestly. I was wondering how I ought to find out your weaknesses. I do not wish to let others know of my weakness, but I do not think I can fool you. It would be meaningless to hide our situation from you. So it will be better for us to tell you of our situation and to have Shiro better understand the situation he is in right now. Correct. You have a good personality too. Geez, I'm regretting it even more now. If I was your master, I would have certainly won this war. Tosaka clenches her fist with anger. Tosaka, you mean like... Are you insinuating I'm not fit to be your master? Of course not, idiot. Oh, cool, thanks. You just going out and saying that shit. What, do you have any more questions? And she doesn't even realize it. Her honor student image from school crumbles inside of me. Good going, you say. Tosaka certainly shows no openings, just like a devil. Well, we're done talking, so let's get going. Tosaka suddenly said something weird. Go where? I'm already home. We're going to see the guy who knows all about the game you're involved in, the Holy Grail War. You want to know the reasons behind the Grail War, right? I mean, yeah, but like, where is it? It's getting late. I have a job. It'll be fine. It's in the neighboring town, so we should be back by dawn if we hurry. And besides, it's Sunday tomorrow, so we should be fine if you stay up late. That's not the issue here. It's just a lot of things happened today, so I want to have a rest and think about them. I'm tired. What, you're not going? Well, if you say so, but what about you, Saber? Just like I asked Saber. Hold on, this doesn't have anything to do with her. Don't push her. Oh, you're already feeling like a master? You don't want me talking to Saber? I mean, no, if what you just said is true, then Saber's a heroine from the past, right? So she wouldn't know anything about the time she was just summoned. So... Sure, that's wrong and dumb. You should know better. Servants can adapt at any time. So I know a lot about this. Oh, wow. Wrong voice. Shiro, that is wrong. Although you are pretty foolish. Servants can adapt to any time. So I know a lot about this age as well. Really? Yes, this is not the first time that I have been summoned in this age. What? No, really? What are the odds of that? Hey, Tosaka's surprised too. Nice. That must mean Saber has something cool. Shiro, I agree with her. You lack experience as a master. As a servant making a contract with you, I want you to be stronger. Saber stares at me silently. It's a gentle stare that's worried not for herself, but for me. Alright, I guess we're going. So where are we going? Is this like a place I can come back from, right? Of course, we are heading to Kotomine Church in the neighboring town. It is where the false priest, the one who oversees the battle, is living. Tosaka makes a weird smile. It looks like she's having fun dragging me around while I don't know anything. It might be prejudice, but I'm beginning to feel like there's a problem with her personality. A little bit. We walk through the nighttime town. It's past 1 in the morning, and there's no one out at this time. I see a young boy and a vampire girl. The lights in the townhouses are out. The only street lamps illuminate the silent town. Hey Tosaka, are you planning to walk to the neighboring town? Yeah, the buses and trains have stopped running. A walk at night is good once in a while, right? I see. Then, if I may ask, do you know how long it takes to get there? Well, it should take about an hour of walking. If it gets late, we can always take a taxi. I'm not going to waste that kind of money. And besides, I mean, it might be dangerous for girls to walk around town at a time like this. You know it's dangerous, right? I'm not going to be responsible if something happens. I mean, I'll be there, and I can stop for someone, but I'm not going to be responsible. Don't worry, nobody's going to mess with us. You may be forgetting, but Saber's really strong. Oh yeah, she's right. Whoever it is, if someone attacks her, they're in for a surprise. And it's not just that garish yellow overcoat. Rin, what was Shiro saying? I don't quite understand. Huh? Well, he was just making a big misunderstanding, or being stupid. He's saying he'll help us if some pervert appears. What? Shiro is my master. I should be protecting him instead. I don't think he's thinking about that sort of thing. He seems unconcerned about mages and servants and all. I kind of wonder what's going on in his head. Tosaka and Saber now know each other well enough to talk to each other. Saber's been silent ever since I stopped her from going out dressed like she was. She said she wouldn't take off her armor, so I made her wear a raincoat. She's been weird and broody ever since. Now she follows me and only speaks to Tosaka. Wait, where are you going, Amiya-kun? Isn't that the wrong way? Well, we need to get to the bridge, right? Then this will be a shortcut. I don't want to walk alongside them, so I quickly make my way to the small side road. They follow me without objection. Wow, bridge. We come out into a park. We have to cross that bridge in order to get to the neighboring town of Shinto, but... Wow, I didn't know about this road. I see. Since you can get to the bridge from the park, all you have to do is head here from the park. Maybe it's just because it's nighttime. Tosaka's face looking up at the bridge seems even more beautiful than at school. I'm a little conflicted. Let's go. We didn't come here to play around. I hurry Tosaka, who's standing still in the park, and make my way to the stairs. Once we reach the road alongside the bridge, Shinto will be straight ahead of us. There's no one around on the bridge. That's only natural, as not many people use it, even during daytime. It's more normal to use the bus or the train to get to the neighboring town, so this bridge is rarely used. That's because it's so long and carries the fear that it might collapse on you. I don't see why this place isn't used for dates, even though it's perfect location-wise. What am I thinking? That's dumb. Saber's following me silently, and Tosaka's walking right behind me. Trying to ignore them, I hurry across the bridge. Shiro's at that age where he still thinks dates are dumb. Beyond the bridge, Tosaka leads us to the suburbs. When I think about Shinto, only the office buildings in front of the station come to mind, but there are streets from older times once you get away from the station. The suburbs are the most extreme of those. There are hilly roads and high ground overlooking the sea. As you go farther up the hill, there are fewer buildings and the foreigner cemetery is built on the slope of the hill can be seen. The church is up there. You must have been there at least once, right? No, I know it used to be an orphanage, though. I see. Then it'll be your first time today. You should prepare yourself. Priest there's a difficult man to deal with. Tosaka starts up the hill. Looking up, I can see the building at the top of the hill. A church atop the hill. I never thought I'd visit God's house for the first time for a reason like this. Shiro doesn't go to churches. Wow, this is pretty cool. The church is magnificent. The whole top of the hill must be the church's land, as a flat field welcomes me as soon as I reach the top. The church isn't that big, but it's compelling, towering over its visitors. Shiro, I will remain here. What? Why? I can't just leave you when you've come this far together. I did not come for the church. I followed to protect you. If your destination is the church, you should not go any further, so I shall wait for your return. Saber said clearly. It doesn't seem like she'll budge an inch, so I decided to respect her decision. Don't want to see the priest, I guess. Alright then, I'll be going. Yes, please do not let your guard down, whomever you are facing, Master. That's bright. It's a large, impressive chapel. Since it's so large, many people must come here during the day. If he's entrusted with such a church, the priest here must be a man of character. Good one, Shiro. Real jokester. Tosaka, what kind of person is the priest here? It's kind of hard to explain. I've known him for 10 years, but I still can't grasp his character. You've known him for 10 years? That's a really long relationship. Is he like a relative of yours or something? He's not my relative, but he is my guardian. On top of that, he is my senior as an apprentice, and my second teacher. What's weird phrasing? Senior as an apprentice? You mean like apprentice as a mage? That's right. But why are you so surprised? He's a priest. Priests can't use magic. By their nature, a mage and the church cannot be in harmony. The organization that mages belong to is called the Magic Association, and the other side of religion, the side you wouldn't see while living a more normal life, is called the Holy Church. The two are barely similar. They cooperate in name, but they're always trying to kill each other when given the chance. The church hates heretics. They totally eliminate the inhuman, and they count magic using humans among their targets. For more information, check out Witch on the Holy Night. For the church, miracles are only given to the church's chosen holy saints. Any miracles handled by other people are heretics. There are no exceptions, even for those within the church. The higher one rises in the church, the more one is prohibited from the impurity of magic. And for a follower entrusted with a church like this, the more divine protection one receives, the more one could stay away from magic. Now, first of all, is the priest here on our side? Yes, he is the one supervising the Holy Grail War, after all. He is a real agent. Well, I don't know if he has divine protection, though. God kind of hates him. Something about the way he finds happy. I don't know. Tosaka's footsteps echo as she approaches the altar. It's bad manners to do that when the priest isn't here, but it's so late at night. It's so late at night. He won't be in the chapel, so if he's anywhere, this will be the private room in the back. So, who is this guy? You said a name like Kotomine before? His name is Kotomine Kyrie. He's a student of my father, and we've had an inseparable relationship for 10 years now. Wish I'd never met him, though. I feel the same way. I did not want to... oh, shit. I feel the same way. I did not want an apprentice who did not respect her teacher. A footstep. You must have noticed our entry as he slowly appears from the other side of the altar. You didn't answer my repeated calls, and now you bring a strange guest. So he is the seventh one, Rin. Right, he's a mage, but he's pretty much a beginner, so I couldn't let him be. I believe it was the rules to report here when one becomes a master, right? It's a rule you invented, but I'll follow it this time. Very well. Then I must thank this young man. The priest called Kotomine slowly turns to me. Without realizing, I take a step back. He's not scary. I don't really feel any hostility from him. But the priest still has a presence that makes the air around him feel weirdly heavy. I am Kotomine Kyrie, the one entrusted with this church. What is your name, seventh master? Emiya Shiro. But I haven't agreed to this master thing yet. I glare back at the priest, trying not to lose against his presence. Emiya Shiro. Huh? The weight on my back turns to a chill. The priest slowly smiles as if he's met someone pleasant. That smile, it makes me... I thank you, Emiya. You have brought Rin here. If it were not for you, she would not have come. The priest makes his way towards the altar. Tosaka moves away from the altar and stands beside me. Then let us start, Emiya Shiro. You are Saber's master, correct? That's not really accurate. I made a contract with her, but I don't really understand this whole master holy grail war thing yet. If master should be a proper mage, then you should go and choose a more suitable person. I see. This is serious. He really doesn't know shit, does he, Rin? Not a goddamn thing. He's a beginner. Train him for the very first steps, will you? He's really good at that. You're really good at that, right? Tosaka urges the priest. Oh, I see. That's how it is, huh? I understand. This is the first time you ever depended on me. Emiya Shiro, I can never thank you enough. Father Kotomine laughs. The conversation makes me feel uneasy. First, let us correct your misunderstandings. Listen, Emiya Shiro. Master is not a role you can give to someone else, nor is it something you can stop being once you are chosen. Those who have those command spells carved on them cannot resign from being a master. You must accept that fact. Why can't I quit? I feel like quitting. Let me quit? The command spell is a holy mark. Becoming a master is a trial placed upon you. You cannot escape it just because it is scary or inconvenient. You cannot be released from that pain until you obtain the Holy Grail. Why'd you say I like pain? If you wish to retire from being a master, all you can do is obtain the Holy Grail and wish for it. If you do that, everything will be as you desire. Emiya Shiro. Your wishes, even cleaning out all the mud inside of you, is possible. Yes, it is even possible to start everything over again. Therefore, you should desire it. If the time comes, you will appreciate being chosen as a master. If you wish to erase those burns that cannot be seen, all you have to do is accept that holy mark. I feel dizzy. The priest's words don't make any sense. They just confuse me more and more as I listen. But still, his words soak into my brain and clot like blood. Feels nasty. Kyrie, don't go off topic. I asked you to tell him the rules. I didn't ask you to open up his old wounds. A voice cuts in. Tosaka? That clears up my dizzy head a little bit. I see. It is pointless to say anything to these kinds of people, so I was trying to take away his morality while he still misunderstood. I guess it's true that compassion is not good for others, and I rather enjoyed it too. What? It does you no good to help him? Of course. Helping people means saving yourself in the end. Well, it won't do any good to preach to you now. So, let us return to the main topic. Shiro. The battle you have been dragged into is called the Holy Grail War. Have you learned from Rin that this is an all-out war between 7 masters using 7 servants? Yeah. Sounded kind of weird, where the 7 masters kill each other. Indeed, but we are not committing these inhuman acts because we want to. Everything is a ritual to determine who is the most suitable to receive the Holy Grail. Because of its greatness, we will require trials to determine its owner. What trials? I bet this priest doesn't think of the Holy Grail War as thing as a trial. Hold on, you keep saying Holy Grail War, but what is it? You can't possibly mean the literal, actual Holy Grail, right? The Holy Grail, a grail said to have been received in the blood of the Christ. It is considered to be one of the greatest holy relics and said to be capable of many miracles. The most common rumor about it is that the one who obtains the Holy Grail will obtain the world. But that's just like an invention, like a story. After all, the Holy Grail itself is almost something that exists but doesn't really exist. A Holy Grail that makes wishes come true certainly appears in many folklores and legends about around the world. But I mean, that's it. A fictional power that doesn't exist and isn't possible. That's the Holy Grail. So answer, Kodomine Kyrie. Is the Holy Grail you're talking about really the Holy Grail? Of course, you stupid boy. The Holy Grail that appears in this town is real. As a proof, the great miracle of the servants has occurred. Summoning and controlling a past hero. No, a miracle close to resurrecting the dead is almost a sorcery. A Holy Grail with that much power shall grant its owner unlimited power. The object's unreality is worthless in front of that truth. So... He means that even if it is a fake, it doesn't matter if it has powers that would overwhelm even the true Holy Grail. Alright. Let's assume there really is a Holy Grail. Why is it required to do something like the Holy Grail War? We shouldn't be killing each other if the Holy Grail exists. If the Holy Grail is so great, we can all share the power. That is a fair argument, but we do not have such freedom. Only one person can obtain the Holy Grail. That is not something we choose, but what the Holy Grail has decided. The Holy Grail decides the 7 masters and summons the 7 servants. I told you this is a ritual. The Holy Grail chooses the people suitable to obtain it and selects its appropriate owner by making them fight for it. That is the Holy Grail War, the ritual where those chosen by the Holy Grail kill each other to obtain it. The priest speaks plainly. I have no rebuttal, and I look down at my left hand. There's a mark they call the command seal. It must mean that as long as I have this mark, I cannot quit being a master. I'm not convinced. Even though only one person can be chosen, I don't like the idea that all we can do is kill each other. Huh? Hold on, you're misunderstanding if you think that you have to kill them. There's no need to kill the masters. We're not barbarians or anything. You literally just said we have to kill each other. Konamine said it too. You will kill each other. Shut up, Kyrie. Now, the Holy Grail in this town is in spirit form. It's not something with a form, so it's something we have to call forth by a special ritual, meaning that we have to materialize it. We can call for it as mages, but since it's in spirit form, we cannot reach it. Do you know what that means? I mean, yeah, only spirits can touch spirits, right? That's why you need the servants. Exactly. To put it simply, the goal of the Holy Grail War is to eliminate all the servants except for your own, so there's no rule that says you have to kill the masters. You should have said that earlier. Honestly, Tozaka and this priest are just being mean. Correct. Now I'm relieved. So even if we enter this Holy Grail War, Tozaka's not going to die. Fee you. I see. I guess that is one way to think. Then let me ask you, Emiya Shiro, do you think you could beat your own servant? And what is that supposed to mean? Beat Saber? I mean, I played that game, but it's not that great. It's possible. In the first place, magic is useless against her, and she is skilled with her sword. Then let me ask you one more thing. It's rather a trite question, but do you think you are superior to your servant? What's he saying? I can't beat Saber, so there's no way I'm superior to her. For this question, my answer will always be that I am weaker than my servant, so... Oh. That's right. Servants are hard to defeat even with a servant. So what should you do? See? It's such a simple solution. Servants can only exist with a master. No matter how powerful the servant is, the servant will disappear if the master dies. So... That's right. It's a natural solution. No one would choose to take the hard way. If you want to win, the most effective way to kill the servants would be to kill the masters instead. Okay. I understand that killing the master is an effective way to eliminate other servants. But I mean, if their servant gets killed, does that make someone not a master anymore? Only servants can touch the Holy Grail, right? So there's no point to a master if they don't have a servant. No, the right to be a master still remains as long as you have the command spell. A master is a mage that can form a contract with servants. As long as you have the command spell, you can form a contract with servants. The servants whose masters are killed do not disappear right away. They can stay in this world until their magical energy runs out. If such abandoned servants exists, a master with no servant can form a contract with them. That will allow them to rejoin the war. This is something I know personally. That is why masters kill other masters, because if you allow them to live, there is a risk that they will impede you in the future. So what if you use up the command spells? Then you won't be able to form a contract with the other servants, and the freed servant will go off somewhere else too. Wait, that's... Yes, you're right. If you use up your command spell, you will be liberated from your duty as a master. However, I do not think a mage exists that would waste the command spells that allow them to use such powerful magic. If there exists such a mage, he isn't even an amateur, but a coward. The priest laughs, and he knows what I'm thinking about. I'm pissed. This dude's making fun of me. Dickhead. I think he's trying to provoke me. His tone of voice pisses me off. You must understand now, so we will finish the explanation of the rules. Well then, let us return to the beginning. Emiya Shiro. You said you have no intention of being a master. Do you still feel that way? If you want to abandon your responsibility as a master, that is fine too. As you have realized, you may use up your command spell to end your contract with Saber. In that case, I will guarantee your safety until the Holy Grail War ends. Hold on. Why do you have to guarantee my safety? I can protect myself just fine, thank you very much. I do not have enough free time to care for you either, but this is one of the rules. I have been dispatched to supervise the repeating Holy Grail War. That is why I must minimize the victims of the war. Protection of mages who lose their claims to being a master is one of my biggest responsibilities as a supervisor. Repeating Holy Grail War? Hold on. Repeating? Does he mean that this kind of stuff has happened before? What do you mean? The Holy Grail War didn't just start right now? Of course not. Oh, you're so stupid. Do you think a supervisor would have been dispatched if it were so? The Church bears the duty to recover the holy relics, as we are the lowest of the special agencies. Originally, it was our goal to research and recover the True Cross. But here, we have a duty to investigate the Holy Grail. We have to investigate the 726th Holy Grail that has appeared in this far eastern land. We must recover it if it is real, and dispute it if it is not. 726? That many Holy Grails? Who knows? It is just a means that there have been at least that many things that seem like one. And one of those is the Holy Grail from the Holy Grail War observed in this town. According to records, it is said that the first battle occurred about 200 years ago. Since then, the battles between masters have been repeating in a cycle of about 60 years. This is the 5th Holy Grail War. Since the last one was 10 years ago, this will be the shortest cycle yet. Are you guys insane? Have you guys repeated this thing 4 times already? I feel the same way. As you have said, people have repeated this event many times. Yes, in the past the Holy Grails were terrible. Masters were driven by their desires, forgot their teachings as mages, and just killed each other indiscriminately. I think you already know, but that is the highest crime for a mage to use his magic in public. A mage cannot allow his identity to be revealed to the public. But masters in the past have violated that. The Mages Association dispatched a supervisor to caution them, but they only made it in time for the 3rd Holy Grail War. The one dispatched then was my father. Do you understand now, boy? I mean, yeah, I understand we need a supervisor, but from what you said, isn't this Holy Grail War fundamentally bad? Oh? And how is it bad? Because the past mages were people who would break the rules of the mages, right? Then let's say this Holy Grail thing does exist. What will you do if the one who remains is someone who uses the Holy Grail selfishly? It's bad if such a thing is obtained by someone who has no problem killing others. If the job of the association is to look after mages, then shouldn't you guys be punishing those kinds of people? I question with a little hope. But, as I expected, Kodamine Kyrie laughs. Of course not. There are no mages who will act outside of their own interests. We only supervise the rules of the Holy Grail War. We do not care about what happens afterwards. The association is not concerned about the kind of person that obtains the Holy Grail. I mean, that's ridiculous. What if the Master obtains the Holy Grail War as the worst guy possible? It would be problematic, but we can do nothing. It is the Holy Grail that chooses its owner, and we do not have the power to stop a Master who has been chosen by the Grail. It is a Grail that makes the wishes come true after all. The one who obtains it will be able to do as he pleases. But if you do not want to hear that, then all you have to do is win it yourself. That is the most reliable way, isn't it? Something about something done right. Hey, Bush Teddy. Kodamine is trying to hold back his laughter. It's like he's enjoying my clumsy inability to accept the facts. How dare he laugh at my wide-eyed, childlike idealism? What's wrong, boy? I think it's a good idea. So will you not accept it? That's none of your business. Anyway, I don't have any reason to fight. I'm not interested in the Holy Grail, and I don't feel like a master even if you tell me I am. Oh, so you are not concerned about what the winner of the Holy Grail would do, even if it leads to disaster? That's... I can't answer that question. Shit, his words are violent. They force the truth onto me whether I want it or not. That is fine, if you have no reason to fight. So, are you not troubled by what happened 10 years ago? 10 years ago? That's right. At the end of the last Holy Grail, an unsuitable master touched the Holy Grail. I do not know what that master wished for. All we know is the results of the disaster that came afterwards. For an instant, that image of hell flashes in my head. Hold on. That can't be. It is. It is an event that everybody in this town knows about. Emiya Shiro. 500 killed or wounded. 134 buildings burned down. That inferno, still unexplained, is the remains of the Holy Grail War. I feel sick. My vision blurs. I lose concentration. I can't focus my eyes. My body stumbles. But I hold myself firm. I hold on to consciousness by clenching my teeth. I hold back with nausea, with the anger boiling up inside me. Tosaka, this kid has issues. Emi-kun, what's wrong? You're pale white. I know it's not a comfortable story, but if you want, we can take a rest for a while. I must have looked terrible. I think it's very rare for Tosaka to be worried like that. Don't worry. I feel better after seeing your weird face. Hey, just what is that supposed to mean? Oh, I have no hidden intentions. I mean it literally, so just don't think too much about it. Well, fine. Hey, that's worse, you big oaf. Dickhead. The school's #1 honor student, Tosaka Rin, smacks me in the head. That does it. With that, the nausea and anger go away. Thanks, you really did help. I really did need that. Don't bully me too much. I have a few more things I need to think about. She looks like she hasn't hit me hard enough, but she lets me continue. Oh, you still have questions? Alright, let out everything you want to say. He should know what I want to ask, but he asks me to go on. Like a sadist. Fine. Emiya Shiro won't lose to you. Then I'll ask. You said this is the 5th Holy Grail War. Then has anyone ever obtained the Holy Grail? Of course, a sad event like that, annihilation doesn't happen every time. Then... do not be hasty. It is easy just to obtain it. After all, the Holy Grail is managed in this church. If you speak of just touching it, I touch it every day. The Holy Grail is at this church? Of course, it is only the vessel. It is empty. Rin said it earlier that the Holy Grail is in spirit form. What we maintain is a well-made replica of the Holy Grail. We use this as a catalyst to draw down the real Holy Grail and transform it into a Grail that grants his wishes. It is like the relationship between servants and masters. Yes, there was indeed a man who obtained the real Holy Grail temporarily using that method. Then, was that Holy Grail real? Actually, you know what? What happened to that guy who obtained it? Nothing. The Holy Grail was imperfectly completed. It was the result of a foolish man, affected by sentiment. That's weirdly pointed, but okay. With the previous pressure gone, the priest narrows his eyes as if in regret. What do you mean? Didn't the Holy Grail appear? It is easy just to make the Holy Grail appear. Once the 7 servants are present, the Holy Grail will appear in time. As Rin said, there is no need to kill other masters. But that does not complete the Holy Grail. The thing decides its own appropriate master, and for that reason, it would not be obtained by a man who avoided battles. So that just means it's useless to obtain the Grail without settling matches with other masters. The master who obtained the Holy Grail first in the last war was just a chicken. He ran away from the Holy Grail, saying that he didn't want to fight other masters. So saying, Tosaka looks away from Kotomine. Weird. No way. Does that mean Kotomine was one of the masters in the last war, and that he retired because he didn't want to fight in spite of obtaining the Grail? Kotomine, you didn't fight? I did until halfway, but I made a bad decision. As a result, I only obtained an empty Holy Grail. Well, I guess that was my limit anyway, because the other masters were all monstrous. I lost my servant the first, and was taken under my father's protection. Come to think of it, it was inappropriate for the son of a supervisor to be chosen as master. Father died at that time. Since then I have succeeded the role of supervisor, and I protect the church, the Holy Grail at this church. Saying that, the priest called Kotomine Kyrie turns around. Before him stands a symbol of worship. That is the end of our conversation. The only ones qualified to obtain the Holy Grail are those who have servants. When there is only one left, the Holy Grail should naturally appear in front of you. Tell me your decision as to if you want to join this battle, the Holy Grail War, now. The priest requests my final decision. I'm at a loss for words. I had no reason to fight until just now. Now, I have a reason to fight and a will to fight. But can I really accept that? Are you still undecided? Look, a master is not something you can just be because you want to. Rin has been training long as a mage, but it is not determined that she would become a master. All that could be decided beforehand was whether to prepare for it or not. Only mages are chosen as masters. If you are a mage, you should have already been ready. I guess it can't be helped if you say you are not. You and your teacher were failures in that case. It is merely annoying for such a mage to be fighting, so get rid of your command spell now, bitch. He doesn't need to ask. This is an option, but it's not really, because there's really no point in it. I'm not gonna run away. Honestly, this Holy Grail Master stuff doesn't seem real to me. But still, if there's only two choices, fighting or running away, I will never run away. The priest said it too. I, Emiyashiro, will never stop going in. If I'm a mage, I should be ready. That is why I must decide. Even though I'm an amateur, Emiyashiro is a mage. If I have decided to become a superhero in the footsteps of Emiya Kiritsugu, whom I've admired all this time, I will fight as a master. Thank you very much. If the cause of that fire 10 years ago was the Holy Grail War, I can't let that happen again. As if he likes my answer, the priest smiles with satisfaction. I take a deep breath. I have cut away all hesitation. As a man, I said I will fight. So from now on, all I have to do is go forward with pride so that I will not go against my word. Then I shall approve you as Saber's master. In this instant, the Holy Grail War is accepted. I approve the battle in this town from now until only one master remains. Everyone shall follow their pride and compete fully against each other. The priest's voice echoes heavily through the church. There was no meaning to that declaration. Only Tosaka and I heard the priest's words. This man merely rang the starting bell as the priest of this church. So it's decided. Then I'm going home. But can I ask you a question too? I don't mind. This might be the last time, so I shall answer most questions. Then I shall ask, Kyrie, you're the only one in charge of looking after this, so you should have information on the other masters. I follow the association's rules, so at least tell me what you know. That's troubling. I really want to tell you, but I do not know the details either. Including Emi Ashiro, there are not many legitimate mages in this time. There are only 2 masters I know about. 3, if you include Emi Ashiro. Oh, I see. Still, you should know the order they were summoned. You are the supervisor, after all. Berserker was the first, Caster was second, the rest are pretty much the same. Archer was yesterday and Saber was summoned a few hours ago. I see. Then that means... The Holy Grail war has officially started. Rin, you're not allowed to come to this church until the Holy Grail war is over. The only time it is permitted is... when I lose my servant and wish for protection, right? So I pretty much get points deducted if I come here for any other reason. That is correct. You may become the victor, but the church will not ignore points deducted. They will take the Holy Grail away from you after a boring discussion. That would be the worst case scenario for me. You fake priest. A person on the side of the church supporting the Mages Association? I am serving God. That does not mean I am serving the church. Whatever. That's why you're fake. And Tosaka turns her back to the priest. After that, she just makes her way to the exit without saying goodbye. Hey, is that okay, Tosaka? He was your, fellow pupil, whatever, right? So, shouldn't there be a more proper farewell? I don't care. I'd rather feel relieved from him breaking the ties to him. More importantly, you should leave too. You have no business here now. Tosaka walks across the floor without stopping and, leaves out the door. I sigh and follow her. And then... I feel a presence behind me and turn around. The priest who was behind me before I knew it is looking down on me. Do you have something else to say, Father? I back off as I say so. Just as I thought. I don't like him. Vibes are too off. Maybe we're just incompatible or something, but I can't get myself to like him. If you don't have anything to say, I'm going. I make my way to the door, trying to escape a stare. As I go... Yorokabe, Shonen. Your wish will finally come true. The priest says, as if declaring an oracle. Those words aren't those the true feelings I haven't yet realized? What are you saying all of a sudden? You should know your wish will not come true unless there is clear evil. Even if it is not something you approve of, a superhero requires a villain to defeat. I feel like everything's turned black. The priest said it. The greatest wish and the ugliest wish I have are the same. Yes, the desire to protect something is, at the same time, none other than the wish for something to violate it. But there's no way I'd wish for something like that. I don't remember a moment I wished for that. Such an insecure wish just means the target ideals are consistent. But the priest says so as if to pierce my heart. Good thing you have an enemy now. No, you do not have to gloss over it. Your worries are right for a human being. I shake off the priest's words and walk to the door. Farewell, Emiya Shiro. This will be my last warning, but take care on your way home. Your world will change completely from now on. You are now at the point of kill or be killed. You are now a master. As soon as I leave, the pressure on my shoulders lifts. Yeah, actually I think this is a good place to stop. This was always planned to be kind of like a shorty little one, just to kind of go through the motion a little bit. But, yeah. That priest seemed like he had all his ducks in a row, right? Yeah. Stay tuned next week. While we figure out whatever Shiro's next move is, I guess. Thanks for dropping by, anybody who caught this live. And see you next time. VOD will be up, I don't know, a day or two, depending how busy I get. Later.